Hello, hello, hello. I hope everyone is having a great summer so far. I am the STEM girl, industrial engineering student. I go to Dalhousie University in Halifax. And because the summer just started, I just wanted to talk about summer school and how crazy it is. End of the video, if you liked watching it or if you have any comments, please let me know. And don't be shy about subscribing. This is my first video, so I'm super excited. So let's get to it. So summer school, especially if you're in a course like engineering or physics or computer science, can get crazy. The courses are 6 weeks long and everything's really fast. So this semester I'm taking statistics, operations research, nonlinear, and like business development course. So first day of our first class in statistics, the first second that we just sat down, as soon as we sat, she's like, just so you know, your midterm's next week Thursday. Can you repeat that one more time, lady? We just got to class, we've learned 0 things, and the midterm was in a week and a half. My mind, I was already stressing out. We hadn't even learned anything yet. So this video, I'm gonna give you 5 tips on surviving summer school in an engineering or computer science, or in fact any course. It's the same principles you'd use. Tip number 1, start early. I don't know how I can't emphasize that enough. It sounds so easy, eh? Start early. Start early. It's the hardest thing to do, especially when you have other courses, other projects, and it's summertime, right? You want to just go outside and have fun. But your best bet is to start early, because in summer school, you don't have as much time or enough leeway to understand the concepts. If you miss something, or if you don't understand something, for me, for instance, my midterm was in a week and a half. I didn't have time to try and understand things in the last 2 days because the content was so great. So make sure you start early. Concentrate in class. Sometimes it's really hard to concentrate in class because the content isn't that interesting, especially in a course like, I like operations research, but statistics for me there's a lot of parts of it that are very dry, so it's very hard to concentrate, especially if you have, my classes are 3-hour classes from 5 to 8 p.m. So by that time in the day, I'm done. The last thing I want to do is concentrate. But it's the only thing that'll help. It's one of the few things that'll help you pass, especially when you're trying to study and you don't understand the concepts. Being present, being conscious, really just listening to what the teacher is saying, absorbing every little detail will be one of the best things you can do, because being present in class gives you those little tidbits, those little tips that your teacher tells you that make no sense in class, but when you're studying, you're like, oh, I get what she meant. So make sure you try and be present / just really concentrate in class. Prepare your notes early. Preparing your notes early in summer school makes a world of difference. It's like you're starting ahead. If you don't have your notes in front of you, or if you're searching for the notes when class starts, it's so easy to miss stuff. In my classes that are 3 hours, in the first 20 minutes, she's already covered like half a chapter or a quarter of a chapter. So not having your notes set up properly can really make a difference to how much you understand in the class. Do the problem sets. What? Do the problem sets. What? Doing the problem sets seems really obvious, but I find that in my engineering courses, a lot of them are either optional or they're worth so little that the temptation is to not do them. In summer school, you don't have the time to catch up, is actually the problem. If your midterm is in a week and a half, you don't have the time to catch up on content that you haven't understood. You need to do the problem sets as soon as they're assigned. You can't say to yourself, well, I'm going to wait till the final to start doing the assignments. No. And it's very hard to understand, to follow in class without actually understanding what you don't understand. How can you ask questions if you don't know? You don't know what you don't know till you know. So do the problem sets, just so you have an idea of the questions you need to ask. Because if you do the problem set as soon as she assigns it, you can go to her straight away and say, I don't understand this. and try not to look at the solutions. Last tip is ask all the questions you can think of to an embarrassing amount. Every time you're like, excuse me, whatever you don't understand, if you can, try and ask it in class when she's explaining it and it doesn't make any sense. Sometimes it's embarrassing. You don't want to be that person whose hand is always up. Everybody's just looking at you. Why are you in this class? How did you get into engineering in the first place? But asking questions, first of all, there's a lot of people that don't know that also don't know what you don't. Or there's a lot of people who are having the same questions as you are. But ask as many questions as you can, because if your teacher can fill in a gap or they can explain something that you don't understand in that moment, and even if you can just write down the notes, later on it'll make a world of difference when you're trying to study and you're not sure of something. So ask as many questions as you can if they allow you. Some teachers don't let you ask questions in summer school. I've had teachers that were like, we don't have time for your questions. And last but not least, make sure you try and have fun. It's kind of hard when you're trying to start early, do the problem sets, keep in touch with your notes, but summer is summer and the temptation to go to the beach is so strong. So give yourself that leeway, that time to enjoy summer itself without getting too stressed. Starting early, doing the problem sets, all that type of stuff will reduce your stress when you're doing your final, because that's when it gets crazy, right? Final time. So just try and enjoy the summer while following those 5 tips, starting early, doing the problem sets, asking as many questions as you can, making sure that your notes are all set up, and being really present in class. If you like this video, please subscribe and comment at the bottom. I'd love to know any thoughts, or any of you that are in engineering as well. What are you facing in summer school? Any questions that you might have, I'd love to hear from you. Bye.